If you can't do that, speak out against it. If you can't do that, then at least what? Hate in your heart and use your relationships to try to change the munkar. So this person just can't sit back and see him doing something wrong and be sakit and be quiet. He has to do what? Stop him. Second question he asked was about the hadith of the man who came and he told the Prophet that he'd had relations with his wife during the daytime in Ramadan. And the Prophet told him, can you free a slave? He said no. He said, can you fast 2 months consecutively? He said no. He said, can you feed 60 poor people? He said no. So the Prophet said, sit, wait here. So some people came to the Prophet with what? Dates and sadaqah. So the Prophet ﷺ said, take this and give it in sadaqah to 60 poor people. So then the man said, there's nobody in Medina poorer than me, Ya Rasulullah. So who will I give it to who is poorer than me? So he said, take it and feed yourself and your family with it. So he said, is this something specific to the rajul, to the man, or is it something general? And the answer is no, it's general. Why? Because we have another principle that says, al-wajib yasqutu ma'al ajz, that something is obligatory on a person. But if he's unable to do it, it no longer becomes what? Obligatory. And we have the proof for this, the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ, fear Allah as much as you are able. And we also have the hadith collected by Bukhari and authority of Imam Hussein, in which the Prophet told Imran Hussein, he said, صَلِّ قَائِمًا, pray standing. فَإِن لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ فَقَائِدًا. And if you're unable to do that, then do what? Sitting down. Now, think about it. Praying standing is obligatory. Not only is it obligatory, it's what? It's a shart. It's a condition for the acceptability of the prayer. But if a person can't do it, what? He's allowed to do what? To sit. So from this, the scholars derive the qaida that al-wajib yasqut ma'al-ajz. That if something is obligatory, it ceases to be obligatory when a person is what? He's physically unable to perform it. And he does the next best thing. واضح؟ طيب. تفضل عثمان.
Regarding the order the Prophet said to the person, like free the slave.
Ahsan.
Does it have to be in that order, or it can be?
Yeah, I think it has to be in that order because the Prophet gave it to him in that order. So I think so, Uthman. So he couldn't say, for example, if he was able to free a slave, he could say, well, I'll just fast 60 days. You understand? He'd have to free a slave. If he was unable to do that, then 60 days. Unable to do that, then feed 60 poor people. And perhaps the reason is because you start with what? The most difficult one, and then the less difficult and less difficult, like that. Okay?
Where do we draw a line? Like, person wants to remain ignorant to not to follow the right. So,
I mean, if a person is legitimately ignorant, in the sense that he has no reason to believe, it has not occurred to him that such and such thing is wrong, and he does the wrong thing and then he comes to his knowledge, then that person will be responsible. But you have some people who it occurs to them, and they think in the back of their mind that it's what? It's wrong. But they prefer not to seek clarification and certainty. They prefer to what? Remain ignorant. As we say in English, they have a statement, ignorance is bliss. If you don't know, you can do all kinds of things. So he prefers to be ignorant. Why? Because I don't want to know that's wrong, then I'll have to stop doing it. Do you understand, Uthman? This person in reality is not ignorant. He is what we call mufarrit. He's negligent. And the person who's negligent, not only is he sinful, but he has to make amends. You got it? What's the proof that the one who's mufarrit, he's negligent, he has to make amends? The proof is a famous hadith collected by Bukhari and Muslim and authority of Abu Hurairah, which is called the hadith of al-Musi fi salatihi, in which a man, he came to the masjid and the Prophet was present, Abu Hurairah was present, and he started praying. And he was praying without what? At-tuma'nina. Up and down, up and down, up and down. So when he came to give salams to the Prophet said, Irji' fasalli fa innaka lam tusall. Go back and pray again, for you haven't prayed. And this happened 3 times. So then the man said, Ya Rasulullah, walladhi ba'athaka bilhaq, la uhsinu ghayraha fa'allibni. He said, O Messenger of Allah, by the one who has appointed you with truth, I don't know any better than this, so teach me. So then the Prophet taught him how to what? Pray. And he didn't order him to do what? To repeat it. طيب الآن, in the first part of the hadith, when the Prophet is telling the man, go back, go back, go back. Do you think the Prophet thought he was ignorant? No. He thought he was what? Mufarrit. Negligent. As he kept, go back, go back. When he knew that he was ignorant, he didn't tell him to go back. He did what? He taught him. So that shows us in the first part of the hadith, the Prophet thought he was what? Mufarrit. And that's why he made him do what? Repeat, repeat, repeat. That shows us that what? The person who's negligent, he has to do what? Make up for it. So you have some people, they're sitting in a lecture. And they hear the speaker say, we're going to talk tonight about hukm al-riba, the ruling of interest, and buying houses on interest, and cars on interest. And he goes like this. I have to leave. I don't want to hear this. Because I have a car on interest and a house on interest. So maybe he's going to say it's haram, and then, I'll be in trouble. Is this person jahil bil hukm? La, this person is what? Mufarrit. He's negligent and he's what? He's sinful. And he has to do what? Make amends. That answer, Uthman? Jay, any other questions? في شيء يا اخوان؟ تفضل يا شيخ. أعد
العذر الذي قام في الصلاة ما بين النسيان والنوم ويسمي عند دواء وكيف الذي يتركها تفهمنا ويقول أنا أقضيها في وقت الثاني.
تقصد يعني يتعمد ترك الصلاة في وقتها مثلا هو في العمل ويأتي وقت الظهر فيقول والله أنا مشغول مشغول البال خلاص إذا انتهيت من الدوام سأروح البيت وأجمع الظهر والعصر في وقت العصر كذا هذا آثم يا شيخ لكن but he has to make the prayer. He has to make it. So if he didn't pray it at the time of Dhuhr and it came the time of Asr, athim. But this prayer is on him like what? A deen, like a debt. He has to make it. But he's definitely sinful. If إذا تعمد تأخير الصلاة عن وقتها آثم وإثمه كبير للغاية. Uthman, he asked, suppose a person left something obligatory and you saw him leaving it and you went to him, you told him, you did this thing wrong. So he says in response, well, my sheikh, he says that this is the right thing and so on and so forth. So what will be the situation now? Will he be excused or not excused? The answer is that sometimes a person is told the right thing, but he's not convinced that what he was told is the right thing because he has a shubha. He has a reason to have doubt that what he was told is the right thing. Because what he was doing was told to him by this big alim, or someone he thinks is so knowledgeable. And then the one who's telling him it's wrong is not on the same level of knowledge. So he thinks that this person can't be right, this person has to be wrong, so he really believes in himself that what he's doing is right. This person will be what? Excused. Because he's still what? Jahil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى وَنُسْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. The one who contradicts and opposes the messenger after the guidance has become clear to him and he follows other than the path of the believers, we will entrust him to the path he has chosen, and we will cause him to burn the fire of hell, and what an evil destination that is. Notice Allah said, Uthman, بَعْدَ مَا تَبَيِّنْ لَهُ, after it has become clear to him. He didn't say after someone tells him. It has to be what? It has to become clear to him. So some people you tell them, but it still doesn't become clear to them. If it hasn't become clear to him, he's still what? Jahil, and he'll be what? Excused. until somebody comes and clarifies.